Welcome to the class. Economics is the class, and we are going to continue from where we stopped in our last class. In our last class, we discussed economic system. We told you what an economic system is, and we explained the three types of economic system that we have. We talked about the capitalist economy, the socialist economy, and the mixed economy. Welcome to the class. If you've not watched that video, please navigate through the channel. The video is in this channel. That was the economics class we had before this one that we are going to have today. Please follow along. Remember, what we do here is to bring learning to your home, to help you learn and relearn, watch and rewatch. Make learning part of you so that you can learn everywhere. Remember, the class can serve as a revision class, as a homeschooling, and as an extra classes for you. Welcome on board. If you are not subscribed to the channel, try to hit the subscribe button and put on the notification so that anytime we upload a new video, you will be the first to know. If you know of those who will benefit from this class, please invite them to the channel. This is Economics for SS2. We are done with Economics for SS1 and so many other classes we have on the channel. So whether you are in JSS1, JS2, JS3, SS1 to 3, you have your interest at heart. You have the classes here. Those classes that are not complete, we are working on it, on how to complete it. Alright, welcome on board. We'll have two objectives for the class. Advantages and disadvantages of socialism, advantages and disadvantages of mixed economy. Having known what a socialist economy is, it was deliberated in our last class, but a socialist economy is an economic system where the government controls the production process. The government dictates how the production process runs, how goods and services will be produced in the economy. That is socialist economy. So what are the advantages we stand to benefit if government is in control of the economy? I'm going to talk about 6 advantages and 6 disadvantages. The first advantage is equitable distribution of income. If you remember in the socialist economy, in the capitalist economy we discussed about, those in the upper class, the bourgeois, have upper hand in hijacking the economy. But in a socialist economy where government take responsibility of the production process, income is distributed equitably, that is equally among all classes. Only the upper class do not hijack the income distribution. Both the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class benefit from it. Then 2, absence of exploitation. In a capitalist economy, the major driving force in that economic system is profit. And so the bourgeois who control the economy drive the economy because they want to make profit, maximization of profit. That's their major goal. But here, they don't exploit the masses because the government controls what happens. And so the masses are not exploited. Then the third one is generally planned markets. The market is planned by the government. And remember that a number of factors come into play when planning the economy. And so there are different agencies, different organizations, different individuals that comes together, different committees that are put in place in order for the economy to be planned. And so it is centrally planned and many persons are carried along. A lot of opinion are seek and then final evaluation is concluded on. Then we have prevention of private monopoly. In a capitalist economy, it is monopolized by few individuals or an individual. But in a socialist economy, No one individual monopolizes the market because the government is on top. The government is sitting on top of decision making as regards production. So it is not monopolized. Then economic security. There is no job security here because in a capitalist economy, the individual can decide to downsize, they can decide to review salary, they can decide to do anything to you that's working with them. They can decide to lay you off anytime they wish without benefits. But in a socialist economy, it is more secure. There is nothing that is 100% secure. But here the security is higher than in a capitalist economy. Here the security is higher. Then we have another one, absence of economy rivalry. There is rivalry among competitors in a capitalist economy. But here, there's no rivalry because the government is in charge. So nobody is going to rival each other. Nobody is going to try to monopolize things. No. Decision making still is in the hands of the government and they dictate what happens. So these are the advantages of socialism. Equitable distribution of income, absence of exploitation, centrally planned market, prevention of private monopoly, economic security, absence of economic rivalry. Then we go to disadvantage because everything that have an advantage must have a disadvantage, no matter how beautiful and how good it looks. We have a number of advantages, just like I discussed 6 advantages there. We are going to discuss 6 disadvantages of a socialist economy. Absence of alternative choice. The government can decide to produce a particular product, unlike in the capitalist system, where a number of individuals can just come and produce a product with different names. Different individuals can come into production process to produce a particular product, and the final consumer have the alternative choice to choose in between the alternatives that they have. But in this system, the government can just produce one product, and so you have no choice than to succumb to that. It's like being in a country where only water board gives you water, and so it is the government alone that will give you water. For example, it's in the normal system, people look for their own source of water. You can have a borehole and the rest of them. But that's just a simple example. With this individual initiative, people come. In a capitalist economy, people are initiative, innovative, creative. Here, the government alone does the initiation, and so whatever those in the committee or in governance decide, that's what they produce. So initiation, it's not at its height here. But in a capitalist economy, it's at its height because different individuals come to bring in initiation. Okay, it creates room for laziness. You see people working in government because they are not fully supervised, they are lazy, they may decide not to even come to work. So a lot of abnormalities happens in the process. It slows down economic development. Competitiveness brings about high productivity. Everybody wants to be at its best. Everybody wants to bring in the best technology. And this leads to increment in economic development. But in a socialist system, who cares? Whatever the government brings to the table is what the citizen takes, the consumer takes. And so economic development is not at its height. It is not what drives the economy. No. Absence of competition. Like I said, competition makes you have alternative products. Competition makes you have different choices to make. But here, there is no competition. So, anything can go. then it leads to state monopoly. Just like it leads to monopolization of individual in the capitalist economy, the state monopolizes everything. If you don't go with the state, you go with nothing. So you take what the state produces, whether you like it or you don't like it. And so this is another area of our objective for today, disadvantages of a socialist economy. We'll talk about absence of alternative choice, reduces individual initiative, it creates room for laziness, it slows down the economic development, absence of competition, it leads to state monopoly. Now we look at advantages of a mixed economy. Now when we look at mixed economy, the other time we look at mixed economy, we see a mixed economy as a system combining both socialism and capitalism. Private and government comes together to run the process of production. So it's a mixture of private and government. We have some benefits that we can benefit. What are the benefits? Let's look at the advantages. The advantages, one is it encourages private initiative, because in a mixed economy, both private and the government is involved. And so where governments cannot cover up well, private individuals come, give their suggestion, jump into the production process, and things work out well. Freedom of choice. It is not monopolized by neither an individual or the state. Everybody is involved. The government is involved, the private individuals is involved. So there is freedom of choice when it comes to that. Equitable distribution of income. Everybody share in the cake. Private, public. The private sector can absorb some persons and they earn salaries and wages. These government sectors or the public sector employ some persons and they earn wages. Individuals who are in business get involved in business, they make profit from their business. So income is distributed evenly within the economy. There is no upper, lower, and middle class. Everybody, whether you are upper, middle, lower, have their own share as much as you contribute or you participate in the production process. We'll talk about equitable distribution. It ensures job security. Job security is encouraged here because government comes into play, private individual comes into play. So you can gainfully have a job in any of the two parties, either in government or in private individuals, and then they will be able to protect your interests very well. So job security is higher in this instance. It's economic development. Initiation comes in, innovative comes in, creativity comes in, leads to higher technology, improved technology coming into play in the production process. And so when private or government or both brings in higher technology, the economy will be driven. The country development will increase. Things will move smoothly because we are going to compete effectively with the best world technology. And so to bring in results, higher technology, high-tech men and women, higher machineries that improves or facilitates production process or facilitate good service provision comes into play. And then we have, it prevents monopoly. No one individual is the number one. Government is not the number one, private individuals is not the number one. They act as check and balance for each other. They act as check and balance for each other because the government will not monopolize the economy. The private individuals cannot monopolize the economy. So this is the advantages of a mixed economy. And like I told you, everything that have an advantage have a disadvantage. So what are the disadvantages of a mixed economy? I did not write it down, but let's run through it. One is that inequitable inequality of wealth. Inequality of wealth. Wealth is not distributed widely among the poor, because those who go into production process, apart from the government, the private individual that may come in may be those who are the upper class. So those who are the lower class may not enjoy its benefits to its optimum. And it emphasizes profits, because private individuals are coming in. Why do you think a private business person will come in? To make profits. And so sometimes the government too will want to make profits. So if the government is not involved in a particular product and private individuals are involved, profits should be the driving force for them doing that. They lack efficiency. Efficiency might not be encouraged, because the major aim has to do with getting involved in profit making. And so efficiency may be a little bit low. The kind of effectiveness that may come in may not be as much as if it is a private individual alone, or if it is government alone. When it becomes mixed, you see, when clay is mixed with iron, the strongness is questionable. So efficiency here will be questionable, because there is mixture of both. Alright, corruption and mismanagement highly in the power of government, because those government officials who will run this process might look for loopholes to mismanage fund or do things that is questionable, leads to corruption. Some private individuals might copy that and may want to embezzle or mismanage fund. Then exploitation of labor. Labor is usually exploited heavily in a mixed economy system. Labor is exploited. Okay, that means that labor might not be optimized. Labor might not be efficiently paid for. Labor may suffer because people want to work, and the availability of this might not be up to the number of those who may want to. So labor here will suffer. It could be noted that there is no country in the world which has absolute socialism or capitalism. Let me emphasize on that. There is no country of the world that have absolute socialism or absolute capitalism, that only government runs the economy or only private individuals run the economy. Conclusively, that is what we want to conclude the class with. So when we have that in mind, that in the real world, there is no perfect socialist economy, or in the real world, there is no perfect capitalist economy. Most times, both private and public individuals come into production process and make decisions that affect production. And so, we've been able to achieve the two objectives for the class: the advantages of a socialist economy and the disadvantages, and then the mixed economy. So remember what we concluded the class with, that there is no society, no country that run a singular kind of economy as a socialist economy in totality or as a capitalist economy in totality. There is always a friction or a mixture of both. Alright, but there are some countries that have it at its height and some that is lower. But in all, in the real world, it doesn't happen 100%. Even if a country is said to run a capitalist economy, there is a fraction of the other elements. It was nice having you on the class. We will discuss other topics in our economic class. We've been able to conclude our economic system, and we've seen what an economic system means. Thank you for being part of the class. Go over the video again and again. Watch the class before this class so you understand what we are talking about. It's always a feature in your exams, whether objective or theory. So let it be part of you. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, share the video, invite more person, ask your question below the comment box, give your suggestion below the comment box. We are open to suggestion. We'll give you feedback below the comment box if you give us your question. Thank you. I will see you in the next class.